Hi, I'm Tasha with One Big Happy Life on behalf of the Financial Diet, and this is the Lifestyle Fix brought to you by Skillshare. When it comes to creating daily success routines for your life, morning routines get a lot of airtime. Over the years, my morning routine has varied from rolling out of bed, brushing my teeth, and being out of the door in 10 minutes, and I'm talking about me heading into the office just last week here, to hour-long multi-part routines with journaling and meditation. But the truth is, no matter what style of morning routine I'm currently using, the real hero when it comes to setting me up to have a great day is my evening routine. In today's video, I'll be sharing 5 essential parts of my everyday evening routine. I'll also drop a link down in the description box and in a card up above to a video of my family's evening routine so you can check that out and see the tips play out in real life. Number 1, I get home early. So I have 2 kids, a 17-year-old and a 3-year-old. Throughout their lives, my kids have typically gotten home anywhere from 3 to 4 p.m., and I've always made it a priority to get home as close to that time as possible so that I'm available to spend time with them and help them with their homework. I get to ask them annoying parent questions like, how was your day? And did anything fun happen at school today? Seriously though, the first 30 minutes or so of my time home is typically spent hanging out in the kitchen with my family, just catching up. I'm incredibly lucky to have a close-knit family that loves spending time together. Part of that is the result of years of making quality interactions a priority. The other great thing about getting home early, say by 4:30 p.m. at the latest, is that it makes for a more leisurely evening with more time to relax at the end of the day, squeeze in a workout if need be, and get the family ready for the next day while still having time to watch a show on Netflix or read a book. Now that you know why I like getting home early, let's talk about how I get home early. When I'm job hunting, I always look for positions that allow me to get home at a reasonable time so that I can spend time with my children. It also comes into play when I'm deciding where I want to live because longer commutes mean later arrival times and less time at home. So in other words, I structure my life around getting home early to be with my children because it's a priority for me. In the 8 years I've been working since law school, I've spent less than 2 in jobs that didn't allow me to be home by 4:30 p.m. most days. So what am I willing to do to have a schedule that I want? I'm willing to take pay cuts. I passed on a $160,000 a year law firm salary to take a $60,000 public interest job with complete schedule flexibility. I'm willing to completely disregard traditional employment rules and just leave a job after just 6 months because they wanted me to travel out of the state for weeks at a time when my son was an infant. And I'm willing to walk away from my legal career to run my own business so that I can have complete control over my schedule. By the way, if you're watching this video on August 16th, which is when this video is going to be published, then today is officially my last day working as an employee. Come on over to Instagram and celebrate with me at One Big Happy Life. Number 2, I look at my schedule for the next day. On Sundays, I spend an hour or so planning out my entire week. That way, I make sure that I'm making time for what matters during my week and so that I can be prepared for any changes in my schedule. Then during the week in the evenings, I take a look at my schedule for the next day and I make any last-minute tweaks if I need to. I'll also take a look at the weather so I'll know whether I need to take a jacket or an umbrella the next day. Checking my calendar in the evening was less important a few years ago before we started our business One Big Happy Life. Because we run our business in the evenings and weekends, I'll often have some things that I want to do for the business during my commute the next day. So I want to make sure that I prepare for that the night before. Starting next week, when I switch over to working on the business full time, I'll start reviewing my calendar at the end of my workday like I do with my job right now. Number 3, I prep my food and coffee the night before. We do most of the heavy lifting for our food on the weekends when we meal prep. But during the week, we might have to do a little mid-week meal prep like boiling a few more eggs for breakfast or making some overnight oats. Our mornings are pretty busy, especially the mornings when we have to go in the office. So by prepping our food the night before, that's one less thing that we have to do in the morning. We also set our coffee maker the night before. That way, when we get downstairs, our coffee is already ready. All we have to do is pour it into our thermoses and go. Now, when I lived closer to work, I used to take the time to make myself breakfast in the morning. Spinach and egg frittatas were my go-to because they take less than 10 minutes to make. And on the days when I work from home, I do tend to still make myself a hot breakfast in the mornings. But on the days when I head into the office, I spend 3 hours commuting a day, and I have to be more selective about how I spend my time outside of work. Number 4, I have a set bedtime. I get into the office by 6:30 a.m., which means that I wake up early every single weekday morning. Even on the days when I work from home, I still start my workday at the same time. The key to waking up early is to also go to bed early. So I have an 8:30 p.m. bedtime most nights. On the weekends, I do tend to stay up a few hours later, even though I know that technically I should keep a consistent bedtime. On the days when I work from home, I use that extra time where I'm no longer commuting to either do some work for One Big Happy Life if I'm coming up on a deadline, or I'll have a more extended, relaxed morning routine complete with journaling and meditation. It just depends on what's going on any given day. So here are some things that actually help me get to bed on time each evening. Number one, I try not to pack too much into my weekday evenings. So I'll rarely run errands, cook complicated meals, or do anything that's too involved on the weekdays. I save my errands for early mornings on the weekends. Number two, my kids have bedtimes. When I mentioned this in a previous video, some people were shocked that my 17-year-old has a bedtime. Here's the thing, we all need a certain amount of sleep for optimal health. Teens need 8 to 10 hours of sleep. So my daughter's bedtime is set to give her approximately 9 hours of sleep. It's a matter of creating lifelong healthy sleep habits. And of course, we, as the adults, also practice what we preach. Because Alexis wakes up after we do, she's often up later than us, but she understands that she needs to be in bed at a certain time and is mature enough to follow through, which then allows us to go to bed before her while still knowing that we've done our parental duty. Number 5, I go to bed with my partner. Joseph and I head to bed together at 95% of the time. From the beginning of our relationship, we fell into this routine of moving through our bedtime routine at the same time. We floss, brush our teeth, shower, and then climb into bed. Again, you can see what I mean by this by checking out our family routine video that I linked in the description box. As Joseph and I are getting ready for bed, we're chatting with each other and having some much needed adult time after a long day of managing work, our home, our business, and our kids. And when I say we do our routine together, I really mean it. Joseph and I also shower together almost every night. We love it because it's a way for us to relax with each other and nurture our relationship at the same time. Plus, it sets the stage for other things to progress from there. It's sort of like having a date night every night. Now, you might be thinking this is only possible because we have a huge bathroom. We don't. We have a standard bathroom with a standard tub and shower combo. But what's really funny is that for the first half of our relationship, we lived in homes and apartments that had a tiny, single-person 3x3 shower, and yet we still always showered together. We're both lucky that we both enjoy co-showering because it really is a great way to end the day on a happy note. Now that I've shared some essential parts about my evening routine, let's talk about a great place to learn new things, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes in design, business, technology, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Looking to increase your productivity so you can focus on the things that matter? Check out Mike Vardy's class on creating productivity habits that stick. Click the link in the description box to join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today and to take advantage of a special offer just for TFD viewers. Sign up today to get 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. Act now so you don't miss out and start learning today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell and tune in here every single Friday for another new episode of The Lifestyle Fix. See you next week.